Hello everybody and welcome back to what was formerly the Property Sourcing Network pop-up podcast. We are clearly property coaching now. It's been good to get back. What episode's this?
10, mate, 10.
10, is it? Yeah. So, Mr. Smart, where are we today?
We are in Millholm Cottage, so one of my latest developments that has just went on the market. It's been on the market for 2 weeks.
Still not sold?
Still not sold, no. For now. Oh no, getting close to Christmas. But aye, early days, it's been on 2 weeks, so we've got a couple of people quite keen, so hopefully we can get a wee offer this week.
Yeah, good stuff. So I have to say, this is the first time I've been here since you've developed it. When we first came out, I was thinking, oh God, I can't believe he's bought that. It was like some kind of shed in the back of a school or something like that. It reminded me to it. So we're going to speak all about the podcast, all about the development on the podcast, and just before that we'll speak a little bit about property coaching and what we've been up to within that banner, David. So obviously, as everybody will know, community members, people that listen to the podcast, we have recently rebranded to property coaching, and that includes Barry Duddy, who's not here with us today, doesn't it?
Yeah. So we brought Barry into the business. Barry's obviously got a lot more experience than us. I think he's been in property for over 20 years. So mega experience, mega seasoned investor as well. Amazing trader. He's taught me and you so many things really since knowing him over the last sort of year. So really good addition. Unfortunately, he couldn't make the event due to a bit of ill health, but we cracked on regardless. A really successful event. But yeah, Barry will be here for long term going into next year. He's back to full fitness pretty much, this week or next week, and then you'll see a lot more of him in socials and whatnot.
Which is brilliant. So, I mean, it just complements what we do so well, doesn't it? Because, for as active as we are, sourcing stuff, buying stuff, trading stuff, etc., developments like this, we don't really have that experience when it comes to buy-to-let, despite me and you have probably done, I don't know, must be touching 500 deals or something like that combined. But so we've been through the full buy-to-let process, but because we don't have any ourselves, it's not really... You've got one, there you go. It's not really for us to guide people in that sphere, which is why Barry and his experience and obviously his likeability and stuff like that, he's mega popular within the group, should be a really big addition. Yeah,
it's just funny because you do get that stigma within the industry that if you've not got any buy-to-let portfolio, it's almost as if you don't know anything about it or you're not credible. Even although we've took hundreds of clients through the full process, refinancing and everything else, So it's funny. I always find that dead funny within the industry how that bit of credibility is just lacking if you've not got a portfolio.
Yeah. So what's the plans with your buy-to-let property then? What are you doing with that?
So that one is pretty much, I got a good discount. Actually, it was valued. It should be valued at 60, but the surveyor came out as totally shat his sell when he seen a bit of a lintel cracked away, and I've spoke to 3 guys now.
Is that the outside?
Aye, the outside, just above the window. It's all cracked away. The upstairs neighbour said that happened in a storm, so a bit of the roof came off and that came off as well. So whether that's true or not, but it's a very, very easy fix. But the surveyor came out, he was giving he was doing all these faces and stuff like that. And I was like, fucking chill out, man. It's an easy enough fix. So you ended up valuing it at 50, but I got it for 35.
Brilliant.
And the end value should be 80 to 85. If I get 80 to 85, I'll refinance and that'll be my sort of first one.
All money out, is it?
Pretty close. I think I've took investor finance for it, and I was going to do it myself to save cost. I've now got Sean for the Smart Home Improvement team in just doing it, so I'm probably leaving a few grand in now with that. So
makes sense.
But it'll still be a good one. It's just a totally full renovation. It's a 1-bed cottage flat in Royston.
1 bed?
1 bed, mate. Aye. So it'll rent no bother at all. So a good deal.
Happy days, cool. So obviously back to property coaching, and with the rebrand, we've changed things up a little bit, haven't it? We've got this new school group, which is mega exciting.
Yeah.
So as part of that, we toyed this idea for ages. Then we got our own private member site built. Now coming in, we've got everything on school. It looks really, really good. Is the courses, are they free to members?
Aye. So I think we did release the 12-hour property sourcing fundamental course that we built at the start of this year. So back in January, we created that and released it to members and the public, and that went down really well. So we've opened that up to all members now, just to give them a bit of extra value. And obviously Barry's property quantum course is in there as well. That's probably about 10 hours plus as well. showing you stuff about assured sales, assisted sales, and all the sort of different strategies and trading and everything like that. So that is also open to members as well. There's loads of other stuff in there as well, yeah.
It's just like, if you think about it, for the low-cost subscription membership, we're just massively over and deliver, which is what we've always wanted to do. But the fact that everybody's got access to those 2 courses, some Facebook ads course I think is in it as well. We've got 50, 60 plus hours of training content that we've done over the past 18 months. It's an absolute no-brainer for anybody that's actually looking to get started in property, not even just sourcing now, to come into the group and become a member with the benefits as well. So it's particularly exciting, I have to say. And then obviously we launched our event, the one-day property accelerator in the Village Hotel. Was that 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
So that went really well. So Barry obviously had a little bit of ill health, as David touched on. So we were scrambling in the office late Friday night, trying to get everything, trying to make sense of Barry's crazy slides and stuff like that. So it wasn't easy, but I think the day was a success, wasn't it?
Definitely was a success, given, like you say, there's still the late news. I think we got you get the phone call at sort of 3 o'clock or something, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock on the Friday, when we were just all ready, just to practice the slides and everything like that. And then we got that call, so we were up to close to midnight, just totally rejigging the presentation. But at one point we were like, should we even do this? Should we not? But we thought, let's just go for it, man. And it was a good success.
I think we sold, 180 tickets, and then we probably got, I don't know, what would you say, maybe
130 or something, I would say,
on the day, which for our first event, which was either free or low cost, is really good. There was lots of energy in the room, and I have to say, you really took the reins when Barry pulled out, and you carried it through, mate. So hats off to you. I know, exactly, mate. So it was really good. I mean, we touched on all things sourcing, trading. You spoke about refurbs, about this cottage actually that we're in now, which we'll touch on in a little second. But it was a really good event, loads of value from it. So the 3-day event then, David, that was the whole thesis behind the one-day accelerator we just put on. So that's going to be in January. So we're both looking forward to that, aren't we?
Aye, should be really good. So that's going to be the 3-day in-person property coaching training that we have launched. We're going to launch and start in January. It's going to be the 24th, 25th and 26th, which is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the end of January, aimed for those that are looking to make a change, new year, new me type thing, and really get involved with myself, Matt and Barry. And it's going to be right back to the fundamentals of what we do, and really leaving that 3 days with the knowledge that you can actually go out and make money. There is different education courses out there. We are going to make a conscious effort to try and really make this totally different from anything that is out there. We are mega active, the 3 of us. We're doing lots of different strategies. And ultimately, that is what makes you money in property. You could go and sit for 3 days, 5 days, 2 weeks inside getting educated, but until you actually take the action, which we're just so big on, I must say it on a daily basis, it's all about just taking the action, but you need to have the base knowledge there to start with. So mega excited about it. I think it will be a bit of a game changer to a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. So it's 3 days intensive training. We're going to probably spend a half day at a refurb project like this, just breaking it down, going through all the numbers as well as all the strategies, raising finance, everything like that. So it should be good. We've sold quite a lot of spaces so far. But I think we're going to try and keep it quite close-knit for the first one, just to make sure everybody gets mega value. So we're probably, I don't know, maybe a third of the way through capacity or something like that in terms of people. So it's pretty exciting considering we only really launched it 2 weeks ago. So I think we'll definitely sell out for that, which is great, and we'll just go with it. So we've kind of tailored a bit of a plan, haven't we? So it's 3 days of intensive training, followed by a 3-month private support group, and then 3 quarters of consistent training and coaching within the property coaching community. So it's really a 12-month mentorship plan, which is just front loaded with the course at the start. So it's pretty exciting. And then obviously I think we're going to do another 1-day event in January, aren't we? Just with Barry involved, do a similar kind of thing, deliver loads of value in the room, more networking and stuff like that, and maybe do some mindset and goal stuff and things like that, because we are in the new year, as you said. So it's mega exciting. So I think that pretty much sums up the rebrand and what we've been up to, really.
Yeah, aye. So I think the sort of free model that we're going for really works as well, because it is like the kind of intensive 3 days, but you're going to get the support afterwards as well. The property coaching community, I mean, that's great support as well, but just to be in that close-knit group that you've maybe done the training with, to get after support, where we're going to be getting on Zoom calls and stuff like that every month as well, and a bit of accountability, a bit of question and answers, and just really help you after the 3 days intensive. Because I know I've done it myself. Once you leave the room on it was a Friday for me, once you leave it on a Sunday for us, your head will be a bit fried, and it's like, right, how do I piece it all together now? And that's what obviously the 3 month support is going to be for. So and going into sort of 2025, that is the next big step for us. It's going to be an amazing event, hopefully. And then it's just kind of doubling down on it as well. If it goes really well, we'll be really, stepping it up a gear as well in 2025.
I think it's
a
just
lot more
so
social
exciting,
media
like,
stuff as well.
If you think about how many deals we actually do with the group members, whether it's like someone passing you something to put on the market through your agency, or we've bought deals off people in the group before, or just a source deal, whatever it is, there's so much revenue being generated from the group. Once people get the tools and experience and the aftercare, selfishly we will benefit quite a lot as a flip side of that, because people will be going out there hungry looking for deals, which should be pretty exciting as well.
You look at the amount of people just doing deals in the group now.
I know.
That started when we were Property Sourcing Network back last April, like 18, 19 months ago. It was a lot of people just, off the top of my head, Connor, David Liddell, Mark Riley, there's loads of Rio and Lucas. Like Rio was saying to me at one point, I think this time last year, he was going to basically throw the towel in. Now they're selling loads of deals, and it's just been in it, been constantly turning up every day and doing all, using all the sort of fundamentals, i.e. social media networking, just getting out there doing viewings and growing your network, stuff like that. And that's what they've done, and they're reaping the rewards now, So that's a massive part of it. That's a massive aspect of this business and everything we've done, all the way since the last 4 years, really. How many deals, percentage-wise, have you done yourself, that you've sold yourself to co-sourcing? Probably 70-30 or something like that, isn't it?
It has to be something like that, to be fair. I went through a phase of doing quite a lot of direct deals a few months ago, but recently, in the last, I was saying to you before, I think we've done about 25 deals in the last 2 months or something, and so many of those are co-sourced, but they're all been really good deals where it's good fees for everybody. Like, we don't really tend to sell deals anymore that's a $3,000 fee, so automatically you're both making $2,000 each. I mean, Connor example, we'll make 5 each off one that we've done recently, which is good. So it's just the revenue and stuff like that you can make from doing this by working with us, or even other people in the group as well, not just us. It's mega exciting. Once you learn how, it's a fundamental.
Exactly. So
it's
good.
Yeah, it's exciting. So moving on to where we are today then, I know this has been, a big topic in the group and stuff like that. Lots of people excited to what you're doing here. I was, as I said, a bit nervous for you when I first came out to see it, and I was making jokes about the roof and stuff like that, which you ended up getting changed. I was telling him, you'll need to replace that roof, and he was like, nah, it's fine. And then sure enough, it's a brand new roof on it.
So glad they did it
now. But it looks amazing. Like, I mean, the spec and stuff like that, I think credit to you, mate, because I'm just not this way inclined. I don't think I could do something like this. It looks fantastic. So, like, tell us a little bit about where we are and how you came about. How did you source it?
So, first of all, I mean, credit not just to me. I'm doing this with my mate John, who I've been doing some developments with. He's project managed 99% of it. We went and picked different things like kitchens and stuff. We even got an interior designer to help us out at the start with this one,
right?
For the colours in the bathroom and stuff like that. So I'm quite big on us as investors. We find the deals and we find the money. That's our main jobs, and then everything else you should be kind of outsourcing to builders and interior designers or whatever, depending on what your budget is. So it has been a very much a joint effort with this one. But in terms of sourcing it, it was I actually spoke on the Scottish Property podcast. I know we've done a podcast in here already, but I'll just recap. I spoke on the Scottish Property podcast, doing a property sourcing masterclass. They asked me to go and do.
I must have been busy that night. I think I said the last time.
It's before me knew it.
No, I mean, instead of picking me, they passed the picture. Second option.
So I stood up. I was talking away, and I done my thing, and then I got a message the next day from somebody that was in the audience, and the guy says, he's got this cottage down in Kilmore's. He thinks I would be the best place to help him sell it. So I came down, and obviously, as you do, your eyes light up when you see something like this. It was totally derelict. Got inside it, total mess, needed a full renovation. He already had kind of plans for it already, very basic plans. And that was it. It was a kind of, once I seen it, it was right. It was a case of, right, I'll help you try and sell it, but I am interested myself.
Yeah.
So I was, right, okay, so how can we structure something? At the start, we were going to structure some sort of JV, then the numbers weren't really working for a JV, then it was like, right, I'm still interested, what sort of fee do you want? So it was all these sort of negotiations back and forth for ages. Bear in mind, I spent a few weeks actually doing proper due diligence myself on it, speaking to agents, surveyors, and doing all my usual research. And then we made the offer, we committed to the offer, again, negotiation, we had fee and whatnot, and this was all probably 8 to 10 weeks before we even went forward with
the guy that brought it to you, seen you at the podcast event, but how did he have access to it? What was
he had access to it, so he was selling it on behalf of a family.
Right.
He knew the family really well,
Okay.
so they were really close. So he was selling it on behalf of them. Basically, it was somebody passed away. It lay here for years. They hadn't done anything with it, and then eventually they says, right, it's time to obviously make a move on this, get it sold. And everything was through him. It's been great, to be fair. Part of the negotiations was he took a wee small section of land just at the corner there. So the title changed a little bit for us. But doing that, he cut down a tree that was about 50 foot high, and it was like he's helped us with the fence and that.
So why did he want that land?
He wants that land for next door, just in case he can ever develop on the land
does he own it,
across there. So the guy that owned this owns that as well.
Okay.
So they own the full thing.
So what was, did somebody live here? Because it was quite sort of derelict, was it not?
It's been years since anybody lived here, and then obviously they died. And I think it's one of the ones who just sat on it for ages, didn't really know what to do, and that was that,
Okay, cool. So what did you buy it for then?
So the value that we bought it for 140,000, and the value was, I think we got home report 170 or 180. I think it was 170,000. So discount was all right. The discount was fine. We have renovated it, and we've spent about 125,000 on it.
Wow.
So big money. What we've done is we've created a full open plan living kitchen area. As I'll take you a walk around and show you soon. But initially it was a 16 square metre extension we were putting on. It turned out to be bigger because we took that wall behind you mat down, and we took a bit of that down, and we opened it right up. And we've created it's went from a 2-bed to a 3-bed.
Brilliant. Excellent. And then, so you said 140 it cost you. How did you come up with that money? Did you have that sitting in the bank, or?
No, absolutely not. So, investors. So, investor funded this one. So, fully investor funded actually. So, what we've done was we got the full investment from one of my investors. That was 150,000 we took for the ADS and a couple of other wee bits and bobs, legals and that. That covered pretty much everything. We gave that investor first charge, personal guarantee, and a floating charge over a company. So again, and we say this a lot in the group, don't be afraid to give these sort of charges out, especially a first charge, which is going to be a given anyway. If somebody's funding your project, they're going to want a first charge in case it does go tits up and they get the property. But also a floating charge and a personal guarantee. I just give them it. I don't mind giving them it at all. A floating charge meant nothing anyway, really. We didn't have any more assets in the company. And then the personal guarantee is just if you don't fulfil your charge or whatever, they can come after you personally. So we give them that, and then we got 3 different investors for the renovation. So we got 2 initially that gave us 40 grand each, and then we got another investor at the back end as well, just to help us get it over the line. So yeah, totally invest funded this one.
No money down at all.
No, none.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you've done a really good job with the place, I have to say.
Yeah. So it's obviously, I mean, like, you give more away. You're giving a chunk of your profit away. We'll probably give away, worked it out because we spoke about this at the event. I think it was something close to 20 grand or something we'll give away in private investor interest. So, I mean, if you took in a bridge, you're giving that away anyway. It is what it is. I'm just quite big on these sort of deals, projects, get them over the line. If there's still going to be money in them, 8% return for an investor to 12%, I just couldn't care less about it if it gets a deal done. You get a lot of people that say they would never pay 12% to an investor. It's always 8 to 10%. To me, it doesn't bother me.
It's such a marginal difference when you actually work out percentage-wise. A lot of the time, like the difference between 10 and 12 or 8 to 10. Do you know what I mean? You're normally talking like a couple of grand, aren't you?
So the highest we're giving away in this one's 13.5%.
Is it?
To one of the refurb investors, yeah. So
it's a pretty good return for them, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what sort of time scale?
So we took this is a year, so it's over the year, over the 12 months for all investors. So it's on the market now. We're obviously at the 1st of November, but we've got a couple interested. If we can get an offer around about now, we should be okay to complete before the year out. But if not, I mean, the penalties, there is obviously, I always give penalties to my investors as well, albeit they are quite small, but it's just something. If it does go over, you know, it's not going over because we've been delayed. Well, we have been delayed, as I'll probably talk about, but it's not because we are making an arse of it at this stage. It's just, it's on the market. We need to get the buyer. We need to get it through convention.
It's such a pain in the arse putting something on the market this time of year, isn't it?
I know, it's horrible.
Couple
every single time it seems to be the case for us.
The same as me, and I've got that Shawlands one in conveyancing, as you know, and actually I'm delighted because if I think it's been illegal since May. If I'd done it in May, we'd probably be far away hitting the market now. So
it's not just a case of just wait till next year. It's like nobody really buys in January and February. You're not really kicking off to March properly, you know. So
yeah, it's just your luck, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, it looks good, certainly. So you just spoke about delays and stuff like that there. So has there been any setbacks? Have you found anything untoward? What does that look like?
Do you know the biggest setback for this, I feel, was the weather?
Is it?
Honestly, because we ended up, we weren't doing the roof, then we were, then we weren't, then we were. And when we decided, right, we're doing the roof, you know, we're talking July, August here. No, maybe June, July when we started actually the roof. I mean, we had a lot of delays with the building warrant initially.
Right, okay.
So just jumping back, sorry, the building warrant was one of the first major delays. So we done what we could and maybe a wee bit more just to get the project keep going. But, you know, still waiting this warrant. It came to a point where we couldn't possibly proceed because
so what local authority is that then? Is that Ayrshire?
East Ayrshire, I think
East
this one is.
Ayrshire.
Aye. So it was, yeah. I mean, the guys been fine. They have been fine. It's just been, slow.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just
and
always the same with councils
always,
and stuff,
it's
isn't it?
always the same.
Yeah.
And then, as I say, the weather played a big part. We had a terrible summer this year, and we thought, you know, doing the roof will be absolutely fine. But honestly, you know, how many days? You're obviously over the other side of the country, but Glasgow was terrible. The west, was terrible for rain this summer, and it did set us back, you know, because it's days and days, and then even the rough casting get delayed and the roof, and just loads of different things because of the weather, because you've got an open property that's all, you know, the extensions going on and everything, and it does, you know, it's that, I feel daft to say, but yeah, it was a bad summer, and it did affect us.
The weather's biggest thing.
It probably was that, and the warrant, you know, it was just, and it's daft things as well that you don't take into account possibly at the start, because, you know, you've got this programme of works at the start that we create, and then you've got this end date, and everything in between is all the works, but you don't take into account trades going holiday, and you don't take into account all these wee things that happen, and you maybe give yourself a bit of leeway at the end, but you don't give yourself anywhere near enough, you know. And if you did give yourself near enough, you'd be like, oh God, right, it's going to take us that long. Do you know what I mean? You want to try and put yourself under that healthy pressure. I feel, to try and meet your deadlines, but then you want your joiner to come in and finish something. He's going on holiday for 2 weeks, or plasterer or something. And it's just the nature of the beast, I suppose. But it can be frustrating, but you can't plan for these things.
Things always take longer and they always cost more, don't they? Never is it the other way around.
I asked that question at the event, you know, who's ever brought a refurb in bang on budget, and a few hands went up, and I was quite surprised. And I was like, this is but to the penny though, like, you know, it's always there or thereabouts. I feel like I'm experienced, especially when it comes to client refurbs and that, you can kind of get it within the 100, can't you? A couple of hundred or whatever these days. But stuff like this, it is sometimes just a case of pricing it up, using your spreadsheet. We've got quite a good calculator to go down. It can give us, you know, fairly accurate, and then just sticking to that budget, maybe adding a wee bit of contingency on it, just going, listen, we've got 120, this was 125 all in, I think, the refurb, we've got 125,000 there. We need to make it come in on this, because we've done the sort of previous calculation, due diligence, and we know what things are going to cost roughly, but I find it really tough unless you got, you know, somebody doing this sort of stuff day in, day out, really pricing all this stuff. I find it quite tough to come to an absolute, you know, what it's going to cost, because there's a lot unforeseen. It's a big extension. There's a lot going on, you know. So sometimes it's good just to have that budget and just go, listen, I am going to aim not to go over that. Yeah. And then you make it work within that, you know.
Totally, yeah. I think it's difficult with something like this as well, because it's quite high spec, isn't it? Exactly, I mean, even I'm just looking at the sink and the appliances and the radiators and stuff like that on the wall. It's quite different to the stuff we normally do day in, day out, isn't it? So
100%.
it's certainly interesting. But so let's talk a little bit about the numbers then. Just obviously high level. You know, you've no buyer as yet. Did you sell this one yourself? Was this on with your company?
This isn't. I wouldn't know how to sell this. I'm all about investments and shittles and stuff, as you know, so I'm not really going down the route. My agency hasn't went down the route of selling stuff like this. Could have saved myself a few grand, you know, but we've actually got a pretty good deal off Greg Residential, who is marketing it.
Okay.
They're the biggest agent in the area by a mile, so they've been good. They've been great to work with.
Good.
But yeah,
sometimes it's nice.
It's
like
good
that,
just
though.
to take myself away from it, to be honest.
That's what I was saying. Sometimes it's nice just to kind of walk away and leave it to someone that's better suited. Just like you were saying about the project management and stuff. It's nice just to let people crack on, isn't it?
Aye.
And what about sort of end value then? Was there a certain price you were hoping for? Did you get that on the home report? What did that look like?
So just a kind of overview of the numbers. Again, valued at 170. We bought it for 140. The renovation has been 125,000. The end value we anticipated was 375.
Okay.
The value, the appraisal that we had at the start from an agent, which was Greg actually, was 360 to 370. So we've pushed it a little bit. We did think we would get 375. We think it was justified.
Yeah.
Surveyor agreed. Agent wasn't scared of that number at all. So we've got the value we wanted, albeit we know we are at the higher end of the value for something like this.
Yeah.
But you know, that's the interest been there. But the number, looking at after everybody's paid back, all the investor interest and everything, you know, the outgoings and whatnot, we probably should walk away with, I think it's around about 65 or around about 60, 65 or something like that. So it's not absolutely massive profit.
Yeah.
But again, it's really good profit. It's more experience under the belt. I've never done an extension before.
Yeah.
So that was really good to see how all that worked and the sort of processes for that. And again, you know, maybe that's my downfall. Maybe I don't negotiate hard enough when it comes to percentages and fees and stuff like that. We gave quite a big sourcing fee away for this.
Remember you
but as I say,
what did that come to?
17.5 grand. I know.
Where did he get that number for?
He wanted more initially, but again, it was just a bit of negotiation. It was a case of he was taking it elsewhere if we didn't, and that's kind of where we got to with it. So
I wouldn't have thought he would have got that anywhere else, though. Eh?
No, maybe not. But
I wish I was getting paid 17.5 grand for the deals that we do. You know what I mean? Every time.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah, I mean, it's good and it's a good project. But just, you know what it's like at this stage when it's on. We've done everything we can. We've left no stone unturned. It's on the market. You're just wanting that.
I know.
That offer.
100%.
You know, and I didn't expect the same as when we done the commercial residential in there. I didn't expect an abundance to come through the door. And it to go to a closing date and all that, it's just too niche for that.
Yeah,
and we know that. It will need the right buyer, and once it gets the right buyer, as I say, we've had a couple through the door this week that are really keen, so we're confident.
That's
you know?
Good. Yeah, it's just, as you said before, it's just as it gets closer to Christmas, you just get more and more nervous, don't you? But I'm sure you'll be fine. Like the finish on it's really nice, mate.
Yeah,
You've done a good job of it. So do you want to take us round and
let's go. So guys, let's take a wee walk round the cottage, show you what I've done. I've already kind of shared the high level numbers, but I'll just sort of take you around now. So this is obviously the open plan lounge, dining, kitchen area. So what we done here was, this was the extension. So if that wall there, just next to you, Alex, is where the cottage was, coming all the way towards me. This was the existing cottage. This is a new extension. And we opened this bit up and we made this a little bit larger as well. Then we've got our doors out to the decking area that we created. The decking area comes all the way around the front here. And the two main features that we really like is these two big windows overlooking the river there. So this is, everybody that comes in just says, oh, you know, stunning and everything else. So we knew that would be hopefully one of the main selling points when we do actually sell it. But yeah, it's a nice plot. We're quite close to the road there, albeit it's not a main road. And all the way around the back of the garden, we've just put grass in as well. So yeah, you kind of need to be in here to sort of see the sort of extravagance, the high ceilings and stuff like that. But I think we've used the space really well. We've got a log burner in there as well, so that's not part of the staging. That'll be there for whoever Moves in, we went for a sort of shaker style kitchen, went for the gold handles, the gold tap, traditional sink. I can't remember the name of that sink, but it's Belfast sink or something like that. But yeah, so we went for a lot higher spec. We've done herringbone all the way through as well, but the spec of this kitchen, we went sort of top end as well. We tried to do everything top end in this project. So coming through to the hallway. So in here, we created a utility room. So initially, our idea was to make this an ensuite for the bedroom through there. But managed to create, the architect came up with some good plans where we could create a utility room here. Obviously have the boiler, the washing machine will go in there. And we boarded this wall up there. So that was a kind of alcove bit. So we boarded that up. This bedroom is still really spacious. Coming through the hall with the toilet, there's a bit of a fault with the extractor that we're going to get sorted, as you can hear. But yeah, this is the main bathroom. So again, spec really high. We've put the bath on its own plinth. That bath is quite expensive. Tile effect wood effect tile, I should say. With the blue, it just seems to go really well, to be honest. Here, original panelling. Went for the traditional looking radiators. We painted the panelling, which was a 50-50 decision. Some people would have, some people wouldn't. We did. It still works. We kept all this. Just these original sort of features. This was all here before. The doors we kept. These are all original doors as well. And then into the master bedroom. So this was the lounge previously. And obviously us creating a much bigger space through there in the new lounge, this creates the master bedroom. And here for the ensuite. It's a shower room ensuite we've done in there. Original fireplaces, we've kept this in this room and next door that are still functioning. And then here we've got a stage, there's a kind of kids room as well. There's the other fireplace there. So that's pretty much it for the sort of inside of it. I will be putting more videos on social media, walk around videos and stuff like that as well. So yeah, this is it, Millholm Cottage.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed that tour of the cottage. David's obviously done a great job. I'm sure you will agree with me. One of the hot topics we've been discussing quite heavily in the community at the moment is no money down deals, and specifically another deal that David is doing at the moment. It's a house in Bishopbriggs where he's basically done a no money down deal on it. So we're going to go in really deep on our next mastermind call, which is Thursday the 14th. I'm just thinking I'll not actually be there, mate. I'll be in Dubai.
Oh, really? Fair enough.
So David's going to go down the numbers and what, I'll let him explain a bit in a moment, but basically he's used an unencumbered property to buy this new project with no money down. So do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so it's a property in Bishopbriggs. It was a wee mini goal of mine that I didn't actually write down or anything at the start of the year, but it would be good to get one in my hometown. I'm from Bishopbriggs. So it was great. Andy Mackay in the group brought it to me. He was snowed under with the amount of deals that he's doing, so he brought it to me. I got it from him. I basically used my parents' house as security to purchase the property because they've got an unencumbered property, totally mortgage free. Use that property to purchase something else. The lender will take security over the one you're purchasing and my parents' house. So if it goes tits up, sorry mum and dad, you'll be out. But it won't, so we're going to...
We sleep in the office.
It's a 2-bed. Officially, they've done the attic, but they didn't get sign-off for the attic. So my plan is to get over the sign-off, sell it as a free bed, do very minimal work takes, already good condition, and then sell it, and the security will come off. I've not seen any of the money whatsoever, and I'll make really good profit from it. So it's an unbelievable strategy that a lot of people do know about it, but a lot of people don't know about it as well. And some people are sitting on pots of money like that they don't even know about, so.
It's crazy, isn't it? So I think, within the community, there's so much value to be had. So that's one of the things we're going to be speaking about next week. But, we've got the school group, WhatsApp, Facebook community, everything like that. So if you guys are interested in becoming a member of Property Coaching Community, just reach out to us via Instagram. It's @Property Coaching. And we'll see you in the next one.